This is the second in a series of videos that follow in the footsteps of George Taylor. The focus is on the Revolutionary War period and Taylor's involvement. The Assembly Room at Independence Hall was the meeting place of the Pennsylvania Assembly for over 60 years until the state capital moved from Philadelphia in 1799. For many years, the American colonies governed themselves, but with the Stamp Act in 1765, the British Crown began to exert its power, especially in Massachusetts. George Taylor was one of the Pennsylvanians who reacted to the British hostilities. He helped draft instructions to Pennsylvania's delegates attending the Stamp Act Congress. In 1775, George Taylor leased the Durham iron furnace again. He was asked to supply cannonballs of various sizes for the war effort. On August 25th of that year, he sent out the first shipment to Philadelphia for the American Revolution. The cannonballs weighed between 3 and 32 pounds each. The committee room, also located in Independence Hall, served the Pennsylvania Assembly as a place for various committees to meet. The battles of Lexington and Concord on April 19, 1775, prompted the Second Continental Congress to meet in Philadelphia at the Pennsylvania State House, later known as Independence Hall. Something had to be done. In October 1775, Taylor returned to the Pennsylvania Assembly as one of 2 Northampton County representatives. He was immediately appointed to the Committee of Safety. He also served on many other committees, including one that prepared the rules and regulations for the militia. On July 4, 1776, delegates to the Second Continental Congress voted to accept the Declaration of Independence. Weeks later, a convention was held to draft the Pennsylvania Constitution of 1776. The new governing body also elected 9 men to serve as delegates to the Continental Congress, some of them replacing delegates who changed their mind. That is how, on August 2, 1776, George Taylor signed the Declaration of Independence, even though he was not present for the vote on July 4th. The 56 men who signed the Declaration of Independence deserve a special place in the history of our country. The city of Easton honors George Taylor in many ways, including a handsome monument in Easton Cemetery. What we don't have is an authentic portrait of Taylor. 2 versions are shown in video 1. One in the Bachman Public House and one in the George Taylor House in Catasauqua. This collection of George Taylor images is in the Marks Room of the Easton Area Public Library. The room also has on display a portrait of Taylor that has quite an interesting story. After visiting Independence Hall in 1912 and seeing no portrait of Taylor, Dr. M.S. Sipe, an Easton resident, decided to seek out a likeness. He searched many books and places, but found no real history or solid information behind the sketches of Taylor that he found. From a descendant of Taylor, he found that another relative had a copy of a sketch, made in 1860, from a sketch that was used for an early oil painting of Taylor. That sketch of a sketch was used by Miss Laura Schneider for her painting commissioned by Dr. Sipe. Later in 1917, the Rotary Club of Easton commissioned Miss Schneider to paint the same portrait of George Taylor and presented it to the Easton Area Public Library, where it hangs today in the Henry Marks Historical Room.